is there anything that the NBA media can learn from the NFL? Because it does strike me how the NFL can get storylines from strategic stuff. How to stop the tush push is a real. There's different elements to that. Maybe that wasn't the best example, but
No. I know exactly
or
what
like
you're saying, though.
too high shells. All you hear about, if you've paid any attention to the NFL for 3 years, all you hear about is too high shells.
Right.
What is that? That the NBA can't capture, where it's, why can't the NBA get a huge storyline from, hey, everybody is nobody's offensive rebounding anymore, or whatever,
Correct.
like the big strategic trend is.
Last year the Memphis Grizzlies just decide we don't do screens anymore.
Right. Why can't we get, and maybe because the Grizzlies, they weren't actually very good, and then they had the thing, and then they made the coaching change, and then it did become a thing. But why can't, generally speaking, the NBA capture strategic things? Maybe I think the last time we saw this was the box and one in the finals.
Correct.
That you wrote about.
Think about the box and one in the finals. We had 3 days in between the games.
That's it. Is that it?
It was the only
There's no way. So that's why I'm asking. There's no way that we can get it otherwise in the middle of the regular season.
Not without the structure that we laid out on this here show about a year ago. Not without a formalized structure and an understanding of when teams are on. I mean, like, I covered the NBA for a living. There are some times when I wake up in the morning of a day game or a game that's going to happen, and I don't know who the Warriors are playing that night. Like, I did, but it kind of split my mind, and it's like, oh, Memphis tonight. Okay.
Right.
Like, you can never be the NFL because the NFL has one game a week.
Yeah.
But you could be a lot more like European soccer, where midweek is, either a cup game or something to that effect. And in lower levels, like the championship, the second level of England, they play midweek games because they have this massive league and they play like 50-something games on top of their cups. So, you have a midweek and you have a weekend. And that gives you a little bit of time to think about it.
Yeah.
That's what it requires. It requires time to think about it. And honestly, the NFL with now, they have a Thursday game. They're doing Friday. They'll do Saturdays once college football ends. They have their full block on Sunday with one island game, 2 island games now this week with these morning games, and then a Monday night game, or sometimes 2 for some unknown reason, though I don't mind them on the West Coast. They do maybe they've gotten to the point of like right on the limit of having enough to react to, but that you never have the opportunity in the NBA to react and then take a beat and then move it forward. Whereas,
that's what I'm interested about this Peacock situation, where they're very much selling it like prime time. NBC and Peacock, they're very much selling it as the primetime games. I'm wondering, because you're right, the NBA can't. There's too many games. They can't possibly get into that structure. Although you and I laid out very good scenarios of how they could do it, but they won't.
We figured it out. I mean, Adam Silver doesn't even have to pay us.
Nope. But there's maybe something happening here where, for instance, like you have free products, right? And then you get to pay for the deeper product. And you see this with like apps a lot, or even like freemium. People that do what we do, right? Where it's like, hey, here's the free product. You hear me on the radio. Now pay for my columns.
Freemium. Yeah.
Freemium. The freemium thing.
Freemium model. Yeah.
If you're getting maybe there's a way where, okay, we are going to talk about the things that are national. That's the free part of the freemium thing. Tuesdays and Thursdays are our big national nights. And then Sunday afternoons in the NFL season is whatever it is. I forget how they laid it out, but it's really Tuesdays, Thursdays. Those are big national nights.
Like a Friday thing with Amazon. That's a whole thing.
Right. Well, it's like Thursday Night Football, right? It's like, do we really need this? So Tuesday, Thursday, let's call that our premium nights. We're going to talk around those games more than we talk about the other games. And if you're a real sicko and love the NBA, we got games on all night, and you could buy your Pluto TV subscription and your NBA League Pass and whatever else you need to figure out how to watch the Charlotte Hornets versus the New Orleans Pelicans, because you're a sicko. And I'm glad we have you for our bottom line, and we will cater to you in some way, shape, or form. We have the NBA app that has this many videos popping up and all these things, and that's for you. But for the casual fan, tune in on Tuesdays, tune in on Thursdays. You'll see your stars. You'll see probably the same 8 to 10 teams all year long. But guess what? That's the only 8 to 10 teams that you really need to care about, because we've packed the national schedule with the teams that actually are contenders that matter.
The key words that you just said there are, you'll see your stars. But will you? I mean, until they figure out a way to ensure that okay, I think the Bengals are on a lot of primetime games this year in the NFL.
Right.
Well, we're not going to see Joe Burrow. So do I want to see the flipping Bengals?
Hmm.
No. Now the NFL doesn't have that flexibility. One game a week, and they flex later on, but you can't flex Thursday. You can't flex Monday. You could flex out of a Sunday night game that's bad, but you have to do it weeks in advance.
Mm-hmm.
When you're dealing with the level of inventory that the NBA has, one, you say, okay, here are our major games. Okay, well, let's then deconstruct that. ESPN has the rights. They can do ABC, ESPN, whatever their new godforsaken app situation is. Prime has some rights. NBC has some rights. Okay. But who is defining the conversation?
I'm glad you brought this up.
Like ESPN typically defines the conversation because it's the default thing. No one's just turning on Peacock for some NBA chatter. No one's turning on Prime Video. I mean, they got rid of their daily sports programming stuff. So who's defining the conversation? Now, I would make the argument that it's just been Twitter, which might be why we're all in this problem today. But like, if ESPN is going to be considered the baton carrier of NBA coverage, and I'm not going to get into what it is, how they do that, and my disagreements with a lot of that stuff outside of Tim Legler. But like, why are they going to promote a Friday night game on Amazon or a Tuesday game on Peacock?
Well,
they're
it's
going
what
to promote
makes
their inventory.
I'm so fascinated to see because you're right. And before I make any sort of judgment, I'm very interested to see how Amazon and NBC cover their sports, cover their inventory, because there's a real opportunity for them to not be ESPN.